us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of and trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberations in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and of those whose interest you have committed our charge. Amen. Sergeant at Arms, in line with our standing orders number 32.2, I want to direct that the quorum bell be rung for the first 5 minutes. Honorable members, on the same standing order number 32-2, I want to direct that the quorum bell be further rung for another 5 minutes. Kindly inform the sergeant that we've attained the right quorum to transact. Clerk, can you take us through the order of the day?
Third Assembly, fourth session, order paper number 316 of today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I want to tell the members of the House business to kindly remain behind after the plenary and meet in committee room number 1. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, Honorable Okoye.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, pursuant to the provision of orders number 182.6 of the standing orders, I wish to table today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025, report on Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee on the petition for the consideration of Kisumu County Universal Health Coverage Interns 2020-2021 Healthcare Workers for Employment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, a report has been tabled on the petition for the consideration of Kisumu County Universal Health Coverage UHC Interns 2020-2021. That is healthcare workers for employment. Yeah, I confirm receipt. And honorable members, in line with this, allow me take you to standing order on committal of petitions. And I want to refer you to standing order number 217, part 2 of it. And I read, whenever a petition is committed to a sectoral committee, the committee shall, in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer, respond to the petitioner by way of reporting of a report addressed to the petitioner or the petitioners and laid on the table of the county assembly, and no debate on or in relation to the report shall be allowed, but the speaker may, in exceptional circumstances, allow comments or observations in relation to the petition for not more than 20 minutes. So, honorable members, allow observations or comments in relation to the petition presented here for 20 minutes. Just observations, no discussion. So I want to open it for any observations or any comments that may arrive therein. On members, it is the report on the petition on consideration of Kisumu County Universal Health Coverage, that is UHC, interns, that is 2020-2021, healthcare workers for employment. The committee has presented their report, though the standing orders that not give provision for debate, we're allowed to comment as members. So I've opened the floor for such comments. Silence means there are no comments on the report as presented by the Chair Labor, and therefore I want to direct that the office of the clerk may write back to the petitioner in relation to the petition that they presented. Next order. We still have more papers. Yes, Honorable Okoye.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, pursuant to provisions of orders number 182.6 of the standing orders, I also wish to table today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025, reports on Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee on A, the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board, and B, the benchmarking exercise undertaken in Siaya County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Business. Honorable members, I confirm receipt of a report of the Labor and Welfare Committee on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board, and the benchmarking report exercise undertaken by the same committee in Siaya County. I want to commit the two to House Business for scheduling for debate. More papers? Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Okoyo, I thought you wanted to. Honorable Okoye, I thought you had a notice to give. Oh,
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have reports of Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee, and this is pursuant to the provisions of orders number 45(1) of the standing orders. This House adopts the report of Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, as our custom, we were expecting a statement from the leader of majority on the businesses coming before the county assembly for the week commencing Wednesday, 25th June. I can't see the leader of majority in the house, but I can see Chair Finance on the seat of the majority leader. You have a message from majority?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want to inform this Honorable House that our majority leader, Honorable Ken Oko, was supposed to read the statement today, but unfortunately, due to technical something which could not be controlled, it will be read tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, it's statement hour. Silence means none. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion on the adoption of the report of PICPAC Committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Migori Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2024-2025 by the Honorable Kennedy Oko.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Oko.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is Migosi, not Migori, as pronounced by the clerk. On behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, PICPAC, and pursuant to the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders 188, I wish to present to this House the report of the Committee on the Audited Financial Statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024. Migosi Sub-County Hospital is one of the sub-county hospitals in Kisumu County. As such, it is one of the authorities or entities subject to audit by the Office of the Auditor General in line with Article 229(4) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The Public Accounts and Investment Committee is the watchdog committee that examines Auditor General's report laid before this House to ensure probity, efficiency, and effectiveness in the use of public resources. The committee is established pursuant to Standing Order 188 to examine the accounts and showing appropriation of sums voted by the House to meet public expenditure and such other accounts laid before the House as the committee may think fit. This ensures implementation of Article 229(8) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 on report submitted to this House by the Auditor General, Office of the Auditor General. The committee held 3 sittings during which it received both written and oral evidence from the accounting officers on audit queries raised by the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024. Honorable Speaker, the committee is in its scrutiny of the report of the Auditor General noted that the opinion of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital financial year 2023-2024 was a disclaimer of opinion, implying that the Auditor General was unable to obtain sufficient sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which she could base her opinion. The Auditor General raised a number of paragraphs, audit queries revolving around inaccuracies in financial statement, cash and cash equivalents, and supported comparative misclassifications of medical contracts, gain and losses, property, plant, and equipment asset management, and supported revenue from rendering of medical services, and resolve prior year matters, deficiency in implementation of UHCs, and failure to establish an audit committee and parallelization of internal audit functions. The committee observed that the majority of the issues raised by the Auditor General rose as a result of lack of qualified accountant and procurement officer at the facility. The lack of these key personnel significantly undermined compliance with financial management and procurement regulations, leading to documentation gaps and weak internal control. The committee has therefore recommended that these officers be seconded to the facility to assist in the financial operations of the facility. While most of these issues had been resolved at the time of committee deliberations, key issues such as lack of a title deed, deficiency in implementation of UHC, and failure to have arrangements for internal audit were still outstanding. Madam Speaker, on the matter of title deed, which this House has made several resolutions on in the past, the committee recommended that this House summons the County Executive Committee member, Land, Physical Planning, Housing, and Urban Development to provide a comprehensive status report on the progress made in acquiring title deeds and other land ownership documents for all public health facilities that lack the same. On behalf of, on the matters of failure to meet several key specifications outlined in the Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guideline, the committee has recommended that the County Executive Committee member for Medical Services, Public Health, Sanitation, and make necessary arrangements to ensure that the facility progressively move towards adhering to key specifications outlined in the Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guidelines, particularly in the areas of medical personnel and equipment. On the matter of failure to establish the audit committee, contrary to Section 55(5) of the Public Accounts and Public Finance Management Act 2012, and failure to establish an independent internal audit functions, contrary to Section 155 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which provides for the establishment of the internal audit functions, the committee has recommended for adherence with the law. Honorable Speaker, I now wish to register my appreciation to the following members, to fellow members, honorable members of the committee, the Office of the Speaker, the Clerk of the Assembly, Committee Secretariat, and the Office of the Auditor General for facilitation and technical support that made the production of this report possible. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, I now wish to present the report on the consideration of Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024, and I urge this House to adopt it. Madam Speaker, I hereby request that this House adopt this report on the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of Auditor General's report of the financial statement of the Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024. May I call upon Honorable Rakwach second. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the PECPAC report, which has just been read. Honorable Speaker, I wish to state here that our entities should start taking their work very seriously, because when the chairman was taking us through the report, then we realized that it is a disclaimer, and a disclaimer means that there are some key records that were not provided at the time of audit. And if we go to Public Audit Act 62, I think subsection 2, then it is spelled out there that failure to adduce these documents, there is an action which should be taken. And it is high time we took action, or the relevant authority takes action against these public entities, so that we realize the prudent use of money. And Honorable Chair, even establishing an internal audit committee, it is something which is it is a committee which is being established by the same management in the same entity. And it is an entity which has got the staff who have the capacity to sit in that committee. You realize that that one is also being reported here to be lacking. What are they up for? What are they planning in their entity? They are planning to misuse funds. That's why even the internal audit committee cannot be established, because it should be established by the same people, for the same people. Honorable Chair, it is high time we take stringent action against the officers who are managing these public entities. Otherwise, I second. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Rakwach. It is not Honorable Chair, though. It is Honorable Madam Speaker. Thank you. Honorable members, a report by Public Accounts and Investments Committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024 has been moved, seconded, and it is now my pleasure to propose that this report be open for discussion. Honorable members, the chairman of the Peak and Park Committee, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, has fluently and efficiently moved his motion on the financial statements of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024. And seconded by Honorable Rakwach. This motion, honorable members, is open for discussion. We've been told from the report, honorable members, that this was a disclaimer, and Honorable Rakwach has ably highlighted what a disclaimer report is. Honorable members, the floor is open for discussion. Honorable members, how many of us were here earlier today in the Kamkunji? And members complained rightfully that so many things are amiss. Committee on Public Accounts and Investments Committee has presented some of those misses here that warrant your attention as honorable members. Keeping quiet means, yes, Honorable Alando.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Going by the mood of the House, I want to call upon the mover to reply.
Honorable members, before I call the mover to reply, allow me just say that we should be preachers of wine and takers of wine at the same time. Otherwise, Honorable Ouko, you've been called upon to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I take note of matters of internal control. And no, all the organizations, Madam Speaker, are required to have internal control mechanisms put in place. And there's a very easy
Yes, Honorable Ouko.
I'm going on, Madam Speaker. This is a very important committee. This is a very important committee within any entity run by the government or a private entity. Madam Speaker, imagine where we don't have an internal control mechanism put in place. Everybody from every department where people, we can mitigate matters that probably might come into force from some other quarters. This entity, which is called Rumumba, they don't have any. It's quite unfortunate. And we were also disappointed. Migosi, I mean, I'm sorry, on record purpose, it is Migosi Sub-County Hospital. We also lack qualified accountants, Madam Speaker. And this is a procurement, a procuring entity, which requires a procurement officer, supply chain manager who is dealing with that, and an accountant. It is quite unfortunate. How do you expect the financial statements to appear? Obviously, it must come to be disclaimer, because most of these are doctors, the MOH and everybody, they are not trained on accounting. So this is why we recommended strongly that these officers be seconded to this facility. This is a sub-county hospital without an accountant, only some clerk and no supply chain officer. It's quite unfortunate. Madam Speaker, we have always been highlighting to members the problems given to us by the Auditor General on these entities, and we expect action. Madam Speaker, it is unfortunate that when the moment we adopt, our reports are adopted, our mandate ends there. I would only like to urge some other relevant committees, like the Health and the Implementation Committee, to assist so that we see that all our recommendations are handled accordingly and reports come back to the Assembly. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I reply.
Thank you, Honorable Ouko, even though there was nothing to reply to, because when you are called upon to reply, you reply to the comments, observations, and maybe amendments as debated upon by members. Now that members decided you did a perfect report and they didn't have to comment, you're only making an observation and comments on your own report. Thank you, Honorable Ouko, for such comments. And honorable members, motion on the adoption of the report of the PICPAC committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024, having been moved, seconded, and replied upon. I want to put a question of adoption that May as many are of the opinion that this report be adopted say aye. May as many are of the opinion say nay. The ayes have it, and the report, the motion on the report of the adoption of the examination of report of the Secretary General on the financial statements of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024 stands adopted today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025 at 15:11 hours. And I want to direct that the report, together with the answered, be forwarded to the relevant authorities for any necessary action. Next order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We don't have any other business to transact in the order paper.
Honorable members, members of the appointment committee are requested to meet tomorrow, Wednesday, 2025, after the afternoon session in committee room 1. Otherwise, there being no any other business, the House stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m.